formal video tomorrow. So I thought it was a joke. I seen it on Facebook, and people was like, "Oh, it don't sound like." I'm like, "It sound like him," but I didn't know what I was listening to. Now apparently, don't you do that. I'm not going to the pet spa to wash you. No, sir. See, he like to roll into like squirrel shit and raccoon shit and dead. Nah, homeboy, not today. But so apparently it's 2 hours. So they clipped a 2 hours interrogation where they clipped him saying that, kind of like he didn't know, but he basically allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly because we don't know if it's his voice, but it sounded like him, said that some dude named Roscoe Pee Wee or Pee Wee Roscoe, whatever, was the one that thumped that Lil Wayne's tour bus. Now, look here, anybody that's in the street, anybody that's familiar with the streets or been in the streets, all they do is snitch and gossip like bitches. Let me say that one thing. How you think people? I mean, have y'all watched, like, I remember in the Wu-Tang TV show, and this happens in a lot of different like movies and in real life. Remember when Ghostface Killer got shot in the Wu-Tang TV show, and the people in the penitentiary knew probably before everybody else knew. It was like, your boy D Lover got popped. You know, so how you think people be knowing what's gonna happen when it happened or right before it happened? Dudes in the streets, they break that code the most. Oh, you ain't hear from me, but I heard JB the one that robbed your stash. I heard JB the one that stole your Acura. You know, real talk. How do you think snitching is? Look here, man. The streets have no code, right? You see how they go in about people who snitch. It's a projection. It's no different than a woman having an obsession of accusing you of cheating and say you're cheating, you're cheating, you're cheating, you're cheating. All that really must tell you is she cheating. Same thing for a woman. If a man is constantly accusing you for cheating and it ain't nothing tangible to prove that you're cheating, 9 times out of 10, he cheating. That's just the rule of thumb. And when somebody is over, stressing something, they might have an obsession with homosexuality. They may have an obsession with snitching. They might have an obsession with a particular woman. And we've seen that growing up where Helga had an obsession with Arnold. Like she would just beat on Arnold and always rap because she liked Arnold. And we've seen in other ways where little boys or boys pick on girls because they like them and they really want to get with them. The same rule apply. All snitch. I never do. They be the main ones snitching. They be the main. That's why I tell y'all about the Pookie code. It ain't really no code. You'll see that in the black community, they pedestalize Pookie from granny all the way down to the granddaughters, to the nieces, to the female aunties and cousins and female cousins. They glorify Pookie. They glorify the worst of us because they are terrible people, bro. They like to stereotype black men more than anybody. Is the Pookies and the Glocktishas and the Glockishas and the Pookishas. They do all that, but the streets have no code, bro. The streets have no code. Once again, the streets have no code. You say, well, they ain't gonna draw the line at, at robbery. They don't draw the line at dumping at people's kids or killing people's mothers or killing innocent children. So they don't draw the line nowhere near there, but they draw the line at snitching. No, they don't draw the line at snitching, bro. They do that to deter everybody else from snitching so they won't tell on them. That's what it is. They say, oh, y'all don't snitch so they can protect them. But the minute the Rockefeller law was created, the RICO law was created, snitching was born. Snitching became prevalent. Why do you think, when the Rockefeller law came in, the conspiracy law came in, snitching went up? Ain't no code, bro. Pookie ain't got no code, bro. The streets ain't had no code. So he basically said that he thought, and he didn't know. That's why I'm kind of paraphrasing. I'll play the audio tomorrow. That he didn't know Pee Wee Roscoe, he snitched. I mean, he dumped that Lil Wayne's tour bus. Now, if you don't remember, Lil Wayne and Young Thug was beefing. right? And come here. They was beefing. Miles, come here. Let me get him. I mean, you know what? He want to run into the street, go right ahead. But they was beefing. Now, it's to me what it sounded like from my recollection. They was beefing over Birdman. You know what I'm saying? They was some power bottoms. They was beefing over Birdman. And basically, Birdman and Lil Wayne was, they had their little riff and beef, and he was trying to block Lil Wayne because he didn't want to pay the Hot Boys. And I think come here. Their agreement ended up coming to like he got Young Money, and then they fell out again. So he started co-signing Young Thug and all that type of shit. Just a whole bunch of backdooria, whole bunch of power bottoms, whole bunch of rainbow gang, and that's what it was about. His booty hole better than mine. That's what that shit was about. You like his pussy better than mine? Lil Wayne pussy ain't better than mine. That's what it was about. Two successful black men, right? Beefing, and Birdman pitting them against each other, trying to make Young Thug make Lil Wayne jealous. That's what I took for it. That's what I took for it. And then y'all think these dudes be beating these cases because they got great lawyers. No, these niggas got great stories. They got great intel. They be informants. And y'all thought, when them people, when they leaked Young Thug talking to all them different women, right? When they leaked him talking to all them different women, you think they wasn't gonna leak this interrogation shit? I'm telling y'all, anybody that has an obsession, unless it's a direct trauma, anybody that has an obsession with snitching, Gunna snitching, Gunna, and to me, I didn't think Gunna snitched. From what I read, and maybe I missed something, his testimony didn't put anybody in jail. He just said, hey, I ain't fucking with it. But then again, if you rewind back, Gunner's on the first 48 snitching. He's on the first 48 come here. He's on the first 48. Come here. No, come here. Come on, Miles. Hold on real quick. Miles. Come on. Good boy. He's on the first 48 snitching. Go look it up. Come here. Come here. Yeah, he's on the first 48 snitching. It's on YouTube. Be quiet. Good boy. Such a good boy. So, yeah, don't none of that shit surprise me, dog. Because I seen niggas in the street. I grew up in Detroit. These niggas was snitching in school. They was snitching on snitching to people at the police. Niggas get in jail and get right back out of jail. My dad was like, man, that nigga snitching. Don't believe the hype. TK sitting in jail right now. That rapper TK from Texas, he had the song The Race. He like the only rapper or musician to have a #1 song and never got a chance to perform it. And they suited up and booted up and went in somebody's house. Somebody else pulled the trigger and they all snitched and he didn't snitch and he ended up getting all this time. He ended up getting all this time. While the person that pulled the trigger didn't even get as much time as him. Or just, what I'm saying? Shit crazy. They brainwash y'all in the streets. Oh, snitching is immorally wrong. And guess what snitching has done? It's created a hotbed for criminals to be okay with doing crime. That's what it's done. Therefore, when y'all protect criminals in the black community or in these neighborhoods, that's the difference. That's the difference between, the crime in the suburbs or in a good productive city in the city like Chicago or DC is because y'all protect criminals by a code in which the streets don't have no other code. None. They don't believe in the Sunday truce. They don't believe in not harming children. You know what I'm saying? Most of the women, in real talk, y'all want to really talk about, pedophile or people batting underage women. Man, the trappers. The drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? They have 16-year-old women, 15-year-old women at the trap to smoke a J or smoke a weed, and they'll be slutting them out in the trap house. Now, I ain't saying they had to do a lot of coercing, because these women are really willing to pop their pussy for a perk, pop their pussy for some weed. Let's keep it real. But they done smash as many young bitches as anybody else. So when women, come out here and they tell their story about these drug dealers waiting at the school for them, that ain't how it went, dude. I witnessed it. These women will want to smoke, and it come with a price. Ain't shit free. And that was back in the day. That was just weed. Now you got niggas doing dog food. You got niggas doing perks, other opiates, and cocaine on top of weed. You know what I'm saying? And what's the point of you fucking the weed, man, now when you got dispensaries? Let's keep it real. He said not accused that man is on tape with an Italian Pepsi in it. That shit crazy. But then he going that gunner like that to protect his image. Come on. These niggas is in, they all the same, bro. Some of the most hardcore criminals in history since the RICO law. That's the only difference between the RICO law and pre-RICO law and post-Rockefeller, pre and post-Rockefeller law, RICO law. That's the difference. They didn't snitch in because it wasn't no conspiracy. Now, which the conspiracy is bullshit. Come on, everybody snitch. I mean, I'd have been in the hood where they ain't got no police to deal with. Hey, man, hey, Roger the one that robbed your car, or Roger the one that took your stash. Yes. Yes. How you think everybody knows something? Oh, yeah, Roger the one that went in there and stole your half track, or Roger the one that stole your fish scale, or crackhead Ray Ray is the one that took your work that you had stashed in the alley. Dog. Like I said, I grew up in the hood my whole life, bro. I grew up in some of the most dangerous neighborhoods you can think of. Real talk. I grew up in some very, very dangerous neighborhoods. Real spill. And that's why, I was watching this streamer, and apparently Ron Mesco said this video that Average Man Unplugged did was from about 3 years ago. Well, it was this streamer who this one woman said, like, you date white girl. So basically what he did, I don't know the dude's name. You can go to Average Man Unplugged. He did the video today. And he did the video, and he basically hired a girl to change his image, to dress like a YN or wear some street clothes or whatever. And only 2 women was honest with him on why they had the impression that he dated white women and Latinos, right? And 2 women basically said that because he spoke proper. Now, some other women was like, oh, you don't have tattoos. Basically because he wasn't stereotypical ghetto black man. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. And y'all be thinking that the Pookies and Ray Ray have a code that they live by, and they don't, bruh. Trust me, I grew up around them, and fortunately enough for me, I tipped that line. I tipped that line. I tipped that line. Like, I did a lot of different shit. I've traveled, I've read books, I've been to places that people have never been before, been educated, the whole 9, right? So if I'm in the hood, you know what I'm saying? You probably can tell the difference as far as how they look and how I look. But as far as the lingo and as far as, just being able to be social and understanding the language, I'm one of them rare cases like where women are like cool. You know what I'm saying? Like he know how to handle himself, but also, I can bring him home to my family. Like, I'm one of those rare cases. You know what I'm saying? I'm like that. Like, yeah, I can kick with, like, I hooped in projects. I just know how to move in the street because I grew up in the street. This is why, we got that conversation on the other channel where the woman was saying you got to treat boys and girls different, or you should parent them the same. That's why you don't let women, run the household. You don't treat them the same. You can't coddle a boy like you coddle a girl. He got to get off the porch. He got to learn the street. This is why it's rare to have somebody who is street smart and book smart. I'm one of them people that can do that, know both. But the only reason I know both is because my mother and my father didn't coddle me. I had to get off the porch. I had to fight in the street. I had to get into some shit. And I had, people. I had friends that sold dope. I had friends that tried to sell dope, didn't work out. That's how I know so much about it. One of the dudes in my neighborhood, his brother was one of the biggest dope dealers in the city, bro. But why I respected old buddy so much, bro? Why I respected him so much? He didn't let his brothers go down that same path. I never seen his brothers do anything like that, bro. That's why I respected his brother a lot. I never met him because you in the streets doing your thing. You ain't trying, but I respect because his brother, neither one of his brothers he allowed to go down the same path. And I always respected that. His brothers was 100. They both was 100. They both was 100. So, like I said before, but like I said, I done seen, niggas tell on each other, niggas hate on each other in the streets. I done seen niggas snitch on each other. I done seen niggas tell on their homeboys. You know what I'm saying? Take a nigga stash. I told y'all, man, I had 2 cars in high school. I had a Ford Escort my mama gave me, right? So she used to park this Escort. She wasn't driving it no more, and she used to park it in the alley. So one of the dudes in the neighborhood we used to hang out with, he used to stash his crack like in the plastic, like like where the seatbelt go and the plastic vinyl that go around the top of the car. So he propped a little plastic piece, and he used to stash his crack. And he used to, make plays. So one day, I would drive that when when I wanted to be good on gas. I'll go back and forth to work, school. So I had the old school. I'm like, man, this shit drink up too much gas. So other days I'll drive the Escort. So one day I just took the Escort because I wasn't driving it for a while. I took it, and we driving around doing stupid shit. We throwing snowballs on niggas. It had to be a snow day. We had to get out earlier, some half a day. We fooling. So I pulled back up to the crib. The boy was like, hey, come here. He was like, I got crack in I stashed crack in your car. I didn't think that car moved. I ain't never seen that car move. He said, man, if you would have got caught, it would have took a lot for me to go down to the police station and say that was my crack. And I'm like, man, I told my mom, you gotta start locking your doors. Like, real deal. But like I continue to say, man, them niggas in the street, bro, I'm a living testimony. And that's one of the reasons when I used to watch people in the street, bro, how they move. You think about these some immoral people selling crack, stealing from people. Why would the code start at snitching? It's just to deter people from snitching on them. They gonna snitch. Come on. They gonna snitch every day, man. And y'all think snitching is just to the authorities. No, they tell about who robbed you, who took your stash. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what crackhead ran off with your work? Who's selling fake work? Oh, damn. Hopefully my shit ain't on fire. Surprising why you call maintenance. Come on. Come on, that's our shit. Come on. Hopefully our shit ain't on fire. You gonna have to go to the dog home. Come on. Hold on. I got these dirty ass shoes on. See the reflexes, my boy? You see the reflexes? My dog be hating. But yeah, them niggas ain't got no coke, bro. A lot of niggas ain't got no money. A lot of niggas can't fight. Dog, tell you another story, right? Real deal, I'm gonna tell you another story. So we in the motherfucking hood. Well, they in the hood, so I probably was at work. This is the year, I swear to God, this is the year I graduated. Okay. This is the year I graduated. And these niggas on the porch. And hold on real quick. They on the porch chilling and shit. And they on the porch chilling. And my man has some Cardis on. They on the block. They in the hood. Nigga ran up on dog in broad daylight with the Roscoe. And told my nigga Earl, come off them Cardis. Robbed the nigga in front of everybody in broad daylight and robbed him of his Cardis. Them niggas told me that story. I was like, dang. You know, you like, dang. He got down on you like that, nephew? You know, it go down like that, bro. Y'all be thinking them niggas can fight and they be tough. And some of them can fight and some of them be tough. But nigga, most of them niggas just autistic ass niggas. Listen to me. Most of them niggas just autistic ass niggas who don't have no emotional control, no father figure, no hero. You gotta pardon the niggas because it's starting to darken on my heart and get to my liver. Niggas ain't nothing to glorify, bro. These niggas ain't nothing to glorify, bro. Snitching is just to deter dumb niggas from telling the truth. I'm telling you, I seen that shit my whole life, bro. That's one rule. That's one rule them niggas do not follow. They do not believe in not snitching. So, Young Thug snitching to me, that wasn't no surprise. Because anybody that grew up in that shit or seen that shit, you already know. These niggas be in school snitching. So they thought, you know, the Rico case where he couldn't rap about guns and gangs and shit no more. Remember he was talking about, I'm gonna go be a streamer now and shit like that. Like, he didn't have nothing to rap about regardless after that. So now, he really cooked. And if they drop the audio, it's really going to be over with. I mean, they drop the video. But look, they don't play fair, bro. Them fucking investigators and them DAs and shit. Unless you get that shit in writing, they going to expose you every time. Real talk. They going to expose you every time, bro. So, I'll be telling y'all, man. I be knowing this shit, dog, because I seen it my whole life. I seen it my whole life, bro. I ain't gonna bullshit y'all. I seen this shit my whole life. Most of them YNs are autistic, bro. Most of them is emotionally unstable, autistic, you know, retarded. I think remedial is being too nice. Now you got some that do have some common sense who are wise. But for the most part, the average guy, the one today, ain't none of them niggas smart gonna run up to $1 million. And most of them niggas, they blow the re-up, they gotta hit a lick. I remember, man, my barber, he worked at this hot ass barber shop. You know, this barber shop was hot. This shit, when I say it was hot, and I'll tell you a couple stories he told me, right? I'll tell you the next one I'm gonna tell you. This is the one I'm in particular. So he was like, I ain't been to him in a minute because I don't live that way no more. And I work this way, and I used to work back that way, but I don't work in the city no more. It'd be hard for me to get to him or whatever. So I gotta stay this way and get a cut. But he was telling me one time, he was like, so when the dude came and sat in his chair, and he was like, man, Chris's energy was different. He was just plotting on the owner of the barbershop and I guess his son. So he was, I just want to cut. And then you know how the barber try to start the small talk with you. He was just like, I just want to cut. So basically he came in there plotting on the owner and his son and shit. Or the cousin, it was somebody. So, basically He followed the dude to like I think he was like maybe by Northland, Greenfield, and 8 Mile or some shit over there. I want to say that. Don't quote me on that. And he started shooting at him, and I don't know if he ended up robbing him or he just attempted to rob them. And like they had a whole little thing. He said, man, he said, Chris, his whole aura. He was like his whole aura was different, bro. That he said that his energy just felt like he was just talking about the energy. I remember Fred Joe Star talking about the energy that Suge Knight had in his prime. And the crazy thing about it is, he said a nigga came back to rob him again. I forget how much longer after that he said he came back to rob him again. He said that man came right back to his chair, got another cut, and he had to he kind of gave a signal to the owner or that he came back to hit a lick again. So for him to continue to hit licks on them, he knew that they wasn't about shit. So that's the type of shit that kind of was happening at this barbershop, right? And fortunately at the time, I lived. I ain't gonna tell you where the barbershop was at. I want to say I lived in the vicinity, nigga. Like if you had to walk, it wouldn't even have been the longest walk of your life. Like if you had to walk, you could make it there. Now I was about to bring up was the time he told me that like these dudes, and they was hitting licks, hit a lick on somebody, and he said one of the guys at the barbershop they was hitting licks, and hit a lick on somebody, caught him at the light, and they lit his ass up. Whoever he hit the lick on, caught him at the light, told her why he ended up, and he was like, I knew exactly what it was about. So it wasn't like Luke Cage or one of them TV shows where the barbershop was Switzerland. Nah, nigga, that shit don't exist no. This was 10 years ago, so that shit don't exist now. It don't exist. I say all that to say this, bro. Like, dog, ain't no code, bro. That's really, that's what stopped me from being in the streets, because I was like, you can't trust none of these niggas, bro. I was like, dog, why am I getting into a game that you can't win? You can't win. It's a game that you can't win, bro. Like back in the day, before the Rockefeller law and all that, you can run some money up, but today people don't have a code. People not trustworthy. So, I mean, really, it's an unwinnable game. It ain't a lot of money in it. So, yeah, to me, it's a game that, man. But him snitching, it does. I'm telling y'all, how y'all think everybody in the street know what happened before it happened? They snitch. That's the number one rule in the street, bruh. The number one rule in the street, man. They snitch. They is snitching. Yeah, exactly. High risk, low reward. It don't make sense. I'm somebody that like to think things out. It gotta make sense. In my mind, it never made sense. It never made sense. I'm just like, oh, this a game that, for the most part, this a game that you ain't got no great odds of winning. But his career, you know what? His career been over. That's the crazy thing about it. Like, it wasn't addressed at the end of his career. Check this out, bro, before I get off. And I'll read a few more of the comments. I'll try to get all the comments. Ain't that many. It wasn't addressed at the end of his career. All right, this nigga been put on a dress. This nigga been accused of backdooria. All types of shit. That wasn't what ended his career, bro. What ended his career, it ain't even, his career wasn't even ended through the snitching allegations. It was over with. When they said he could no longer rap about gangs and drugs and he couldn't rap about that no more, and maybe he might be a little bit more sober, his career was over with. When he had to rap about something else, and I heard Malice from the clip say something. He said, most rappers that use curse words, they just use them because they too lazy. They're too lazy to, find other words that really go into that and go into the song. So they use cuss words because they're lazy. His career was over with when they said you couldn't rap about gangs, guns, drugs. You couldn't rap about none of that shit no more. He couldn't even pivot and talk about some fly shit. Ain't that crazy? He couldn't even pivot He couldn't even pivot and talk about just partying and getting women and getting fucking hoes. He couldn't even just rap about the good life. You know, he couldn't find no other subject matter to rap about. And then with him being sober, it probably was a rap too. He didn't have like, bruh, like you can tell they be like, man, you know, he got fat in jail. No, he ain't on drugs no more, nigga. He ain't on drugs no more. Why what? He ain't on drugs no more. These addicts, man, they go through a withdrawal, but also when you be on them drugs, it drains your nutrients. Like you ever see somebody smoke weed and you know they get skinny and shit, man. A lot of times their appetite be erratic and all that type of shit. Like even when you take like painkillers, muscle relaxers, you know, naproxen, Tylenol. I'm taking like that now for I was taking that for my back and shit. And my shit, I'm raw dogging and now that shit didn't got better. And you notice that when you go on some drugs, you don't have an appetite. Only reason you eat is because your stomach start growling. You don't even get hungry no more. Why couldn't he rap about the same ish? It's in part of his plea deal. Yeah, it's part of his plea deal. I believe I read that. It's part of his plea deal. He can't rap about the gangs and drugs no more, or he go right back to jail. You can pull it up. If I was on the computer, well, I am on the computer. On the computer, yeah, you can pull up his plea deal. He can't rap about that shit no more. Oh yeah, you know, yeah, Dragon Ball, yeah, better than GT weak ass shit. Dragon Ball was dope. So yeah, he can't rap about that shit no more. Yeah, read the plea agreement. So he probably trying to, you know, find his career was over with when he couldn't rap about that shit no more. His career was over with when he couldn't rap about that no more. This is a dude that went to college. And now all of a sudden, oh, I think Roscoe did it. I think Roscoe put the Roscoe on Lil Wayne, and I didn't tell him to do that. And like I said before, man, dog, it ain't no rules in the streets. And if it's one of the most broken rule in the street, if it is something, it's snitching. That's the most broken rule in these streets is snitching. He not creative enough to do gospel rap. He ain't gonna read the Bible and start doing that, bro. To be able to be a rapper and have a subject matter, you have to have intellect. You have to have experience. You have to be able to comprehend things. You know what I'm saying? Like what he gonna rap about? He wasn't even a good rapper to begin with. Wiggity, higgity, jiggity, wiggity, higgity, hoggity, hoogity, hoggity, higgity, hoggity. And I say this, man, before I read these comments. These niggas draw the line, you know, at different places for different faces. You know, back in at one point when they got rid of that I Love Making rapper because it came out that he was backdoor you. Why didn't they diss on Young Thug? Did y'all see in the indictment where they threw this out in court? And you got to remember, I'm somebody that really didn't even follow the story like that, right? I'm somebody that didn't even follow the story. I just read enough to understand what was going on. So do y'all not remember they threw it out in court when he had the YSL members like naked on video? He had all them niggas naked on video. I forget what they was doing, but the video was going around. They was naked on video, bro. These ninjas was naked on. He had these niggas on digital video naked. The YSL members were ass naked. He had them niggas ass naked on video. I forgot why they threw the evidence out and why was it that. But he had these niggas ass naked on camera, bro. Bruh. Y'all still giving niggas in Atlanta the benefit of the doubt? Absolutely not. No, sir. Not me. But that stop a beautiful woman like Mariah the Scientist from sleeping with him? No. I'm telling y'all, man, I did a short on the Free Game 89 channel. I don't know if it came up yet because all my shit mostly be on a timer. And she like Woman said all these lavender marriages. I'm like, damn, what's a lavender marriage? So I kept listening. Basically, it's where black women sleep with or excuse me, women sleep with gay men. It's like they are cool with it. And I've been, y'all know I've been preaching this message for years. I've been telling y'all for years. I've been telling y'all this message for years, man. That women been doing that, bro. That's why they disease rate is so high, bro. That's why they the STI that y'all think it's all men. They all sleep with the same man, so they can't blame us. The average working day men don't even. We are invisible to most of these women. We are invisible until they want to stab daddy or they just want to change it up. That's it. But they don't ostracize or they don't kick out of exile, backdooria men in hip hop no more. You think a Saucy Santana or some of them niggas could, like, dog, Tupac would have Biggie and them would have a field day. Biggie ended Kwame the polka dot rapper's career for, wearing polka dots and dancing. Ice Cube couldn't stand niggas dancing. These niggas were just dancing niggas and flat top and Gumby wearing niggas and polka dot wearing niggas, kid and play type of niggas. They would diss them all day. You think they letting, these dudes even be a part of the culture, bro? But this is what happened when you allow women to be to be the forefront of the culture. What's so funny about women, dog, especially black women, and I'm gonna say this, they're so homophobic, but so pro backdooria. It is crazy. Like, you have the same woman, she has so much homophobia, but then so pro LGBTQ plus. That is crazy, bro. And they be sleeping with these dudes, and these dudes be wearing dresses, and these dudes wear ankle bracelets, and they openly gay. And when women say, well, I didn't know. I didn't, like, y'all know everything else about men that y'all, if you got money or you just think about their infatuation with jailbirds. All right? Think about their infatuation with jailbirds. What do most men in jail, they get their booty ran or they taking booty. And when these dudes got out of jail, these women go run and sleep with them. Don't go get tested. You know what I'm saying? And they passing diseases around with each other. Most of these women are attracted to bisexual men. You must say it, bro. If they don't want, if masculinity is toxic and they hate it, then what do they want? It's only one other opposite to masculinity, that's femininity. I keep telling y'all, bro. These generations of Pookies and Ray Rays, bro, these niggas is straight. Like, I can't put a number on it, but I'll guarantee you more than half the field of them is gay, bro. They doped up, coked up, can't read, can't write, hornballs. Come on. This dude is a straight up blade, bro. I should have talked about Kanye West too. I'll read some comments and I'm gonna talk about Kanye West tomorrow if I remember. Thug been moved. He been weird since he put a dress on, bro. This nigga was fighting over. Him and Lil Wayne was fighting over Birdman running up their ass allegedly. Let's call it what it is. People forget Wayne Cameron kissing Birdman double. Yeah, I kissed my daddy. Yeah, I kissed my daddy. Yeah, it ain't even your real daddy, nigga. Not accused that man is on tape with a talk. I read that one. Shout out to Carlos. Thinkers think, salute. He said, what up, CEO, salute, conglomerate. Say Young Thug be about that, homo thug. Yeah, he been about that, man. That shit cold. Keep it one. What am I lying about, man? Nigga, go watch. The video is there. Hold on, matter of fact, you right. You right, nigga. Hold on. You right, nigga. You right. Why we playing games? Why we playing games? You right. You right, my nigga. Hold on. You are motherfucking right. Hold on. I bees in the trap. Bees in the trap. Bees in the trap. Hold on, my nigga. You know I got you. Slick puller. Real talk. I don't even know my speaker at.
I ain't finna, I don't know, block, I don't know, like, block out y'all case by saying Russell wouldn't do that. Say, no, Russell, screw it. All right, you started, bro.
So basically, he said, I don't. They say I don't know who did it, but he said they saying that Roscoe shot at Lil Wayne's tour bus. They said there's 2 hours of this shit too. They leaked. So his career was over when he couldn't rap about gangs and shit no more, and drugs and shit. Man, niggas, man, I'm telling y'all, man, y'all be letting these, yeah, come on. There is no rules in the streets. Anything goes ahead out that jam snitching the clue up. Can't expect honor. Nope. Hold on. Niggas sending me shit that something happened. Feds in Detroit. Yeah, I've been knew that. So it's a boy, Lena, and Travis Hunter welcome a son together. Shout out to them. I take media rare. Two funny autistic YNs. Most of them is school snitching. All niggas stay focused. Yeah, well it's public records. Yeah. Sometimes they sell it. High risk, low reward. Why couldn't they rap about? Okay, I ran to that gospel rap. CJ was good doing shoulders today. Big bro, yeah, I ain't doing shit. My back still fucked up. It's healing though. Yeah, but it's 2 weeks today. I was gonna take 2 weeks off. I needed time off. Yeah, I've been going too hard in the paint. He says all a part of the streets. It goes together like peanut butter and jelly, mac and cheese, straight like that. Facts. Shout out to Gilberto. That's what it is. They're Willie, Fully, and beers and gay dudes. He said mental, emotional, now facts. He said even the alpha ones. Yeah, man. Like niggas, like niggas go, I'm an alpha. Like you can have that. I am an alpha. I'm more of a sigma. I'm probably a sigma. They all 65. Yeah, I'm more of somebody else that yeah, muffle. Yeah. I can't. Like my speaker somewhere around there. I can't find that fucking speaker somewhere. He said, buddy took the McDonald's. That motherfucker said, give me some Benny Han Hans. What did the game say? Ain't no fucking wontons and Benny Han Han. That shit was funny as fuck. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about Kanye if I remember tomorrow. I'm gonna talk about Kanye, man. So basically, Kanye West, his daughter Northwest, what they said she 12, and basically she like singing songs and wearing stuff that he don't approve of. Um, and I was watching P's World video on that, and he don't approve of, and he basically, what's so funny is a lot of these dudes become advocates when they go through it. I'm not mad at it. Any person, that's honorable that become advocates when they go through something. Now he's basically saying there's no such thing as 50-50 custody. There's no such thing as, having rights over your kids. The woman got all the rights, and that's a fact. And he don't have a say so what his daughter wear, but one thing about it that's the elephant in the room is that you procreated with a hoe. What did you thought was gonna happen? You thought you could save your daughter? You thought Kim Kardashian was gonna let you raise your daughter? You thought she wasn't gonna alienate you from your kids? Like anybody else, like most of these women, they want to do that, bro. When they become too much or they buck up at them, then they want to tag you in to be a part-time parent. See, I ain't been through that. Don't want to go through that. But what I will tell you is, I see why guys walk away, because if you stay, you try to work it out. These women just want to you. And Craig said something very interesting on the 5150 show. He said women, and I'm a cut this and put it on my story. He said women have kids with ain't shit niggas. I'm paraphrasing, for the same reason they deal with prison niggas. It's for control. They want to have somebody to control. And I said, damn. I said, that was motherfucking deep. Because that's the truth. Women want to have some type of control. In my whole life, I seen women, and good looking women. I mean, when I was growing up as a teenager, as a child, I seen some of my friends' mama be fine as hell, didn't have a husband, or some of them had, ain't shit niggas, bum ass niggas, niggas that take their car and go fuck hoes and constantly cheating on them and finding earrings in their car and shit, right? And they will put up with that shit, bruh. They will put up with it. Oh, he just got out of jail, and he's like, damn, why they mama fuck? Dog, they love to be, I'll call the police, put you back in jail. They want to have some type of control. And a lot of women and they not gonna tell you this, but they don't even understand this. A lot of women that mess with those type of guys, that's who they character are. They say men, get convicted for crimes, and men commit more crimes and all that. Men just get convicted for crimes. Most crimes that women convict, believe it or not, women steal and they do more heinous shit just as much as men do. They just get slaps on the wrist. People just stall them out. Police don't really investigate them like that. They don't press charges or press the issue like they press with men. Women are just as much criminals as men. It just goes unreported. These women be stealing, killing, poisoning their husbands, sending their kids to the upper room. It's a fact. They want to control some. Women just feel like, oh, society always telling me what to do, and and then at the end of the day, it's for their own protection, because women are so fragile. Once they are hurt, a lot of times they are unsalvageable. They are not, marriage material. They're not fit to be women. They pass on trauma. They naturally hold on to things. Even when you insert your Johnson into a woman, what is she doing? Holding on to your penis. When they go through issues, they hold on to it. They hold grudges. They hold grudges against it. That's just who they are. They're naturally holders. So once they go through trauma that they can't overcome, they're no good to society anymore. Not as their femininity, not to be nurturers, not to be lovers. And there's really no therapy that can heal most women for what they go through. That's a fact. So that's why, you must protect women. That's why we protect women, but it's only so much you can do in society. If you tell your sister, hey man, Greg a bad dude, don't fuck with Greg. You know what I'm saying? You know what most women in America is programmed to do? Fuck what you talking about. I'm gonna go fuck with Greg. Get fucked over and blame you for it. It is what it is. That's what it is. So that's why I be trying to tell you, you can't protect women in society today. You know, you can't you can tell them, you can warn them, and that is a form of protection. But Kanye West is just going through what a lot of guys went through. You know, but he knowingly knew that she was a hoe. She knowingly knew. So of course a hoe don't see nothing wrong with hotivities. A lot of these women have children. They just want to be the boss of somebody. They tired. They feel like everybody is telling them what to do, and all of it is provision and protection. And it translates to a relationship. Most men in America that's married let the bitch run the relationship, and when it don't go right, it's his fault. Women can't be leaders because they don't have an accountability, bro. Let the man lead. They don't understand if the man lead, a man you trust and believe in lead, you're gonna reap all the benefits, and you ain't got to deal with as much as the cons that come with it. The negative. They don't understand that. They just want to say, I'd rather just saying, hey, I'm part of $1 trillion company. I got $1 billion stake in this company. Just being a player. They'd rather be, instead of just being a player as a part of a multi-trillion dollar company and having $1 billion in equity in the company, they'd rather, be the head of a bundle shop that's in debt. You know what I'm saying? That ain't even breaking even at the end of the month and going out of business just to say I was the CEO, I was the owner of something that was successful, instead of being a team player as part of something that's bigger than them but that's successful. Come on, that's a fact. That's a fact. So you can't deal with women who don't want to be led, bro. Who don't want to follow. It's a wrap. If they fight your leadership, they fight you and everything. That's not her trying to get you to prove your leadership. Don't believe that bullshit. They don't fuck with you. They want to control. They want to control everything. Allow them to control it. Just not with you. He said, I'm proud stepfather of 5. Well, shout out to you, bro. He said, "What the f did he think was going to happen when you bred into a family of Armenian whores?" That's a fact. So I don't have any biological shout out to you, bro. He said, "Man bred into a family of jump offs and had plenty of dumbasses. Literally was cracking her while she was pregnant." Yup. That's one of the. I feel like that should be upper room penalty. If you letting a man or you if you letting a man crack you while you pregnant, or if you a man cracking a girl that's not pregnant with your child, if I was a dictator of this country, that'd be upper room. You go both to the upper room, both to the upper room. After Carter 6, a couple other songs I got over it. Yeah, I ain't listening to nothing past the Carter 3. Maybe a little bit of Carter 4. But that's all I had, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace.